Good morning.
Welcome to Parker Center for Spiritual Living. Today we're living loud. I have a friend who was born and raised in Alabama, and he's now the senior minister at the Community Church in Savannah, Georgia. So what I'm trying to tell you is he's a Southern gentleman. And you will hear that when we sing this song, if you will. It's a surprise. So let's learn the words. Repeat after me. I am alive with the Spirit of God.
I am alive in the Spirit of God.
That's it. I am alive with the Spirit of God. Let me hear you. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. Got y'all in it. I am alive with the presence of God. 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 I am alive, y'all. Alive with the presence of God. Now we're going. I am alive with the power of God. 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 I am alive, y'all. Alive with the power of God. Once more, I am alive in the Spirit of God. Here we go. I am alive in the Spirit of God. 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 I am alive, y'all. Alive in the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. I grew up in Georgia, so that really resonates with me. Y'all and fixin' to and all that kind of stuff. So
All y'all.
all y'alls, yeah, all y'alls. It's the plural of y'all, right? All y'alls. So welcome this morning. I'm David Howard, and I am the minister here at Centers for Spiritual Living Parker. To be here and so pleased to welcome you. I know we have some people who are here for the very first time, so we welcome you especially to our service this morning, and I want to thank you for being here today and blessing us with your energy and adding your energy to our space this morning. So thank you again for being here, and we have Robert Anderson as our guest artist today, so we're excited about that. So now, and as we come together, I invite you to take a moment, breathe into the energy of the space, breathe into the energy of that life force, God, source, energy, life, whatever word or phrase you choose to associate with it. Feel it moving in you, through you, as you, and ground yourself in that space today as we come together. And as we do that, let us greet each other in the spirit of that life as we rise and say hello with a handshake, a hug, a bow, or whatever it is you feel like doing. So let's do that now. First thing I want to say is that if you were at the expo this past weekend, you know what a wonderful event it was. If you were not there, please plan to be there next time we do that. I think you would be inspired and energized by it. For those of you who were volunteers there, let's just acknowledge everyone who was a part of making that happen. If you would stand up right now so we can acknowledge you and thank you for all that you did to make that possible. And I want to especially recognize Amy, who really orchestrated that whole event. And Shirley, who is here with the children. Youth Church. Shirley's here with the Youth Church. And we can't acknowledge people without also thanking Jeanette for all the work that she put into it as well. So thank you all for making it such a successful event as well. It was one of the vendors said, "Why don't you do it twice a year?" That would be great. We'll see. We'll see about that. I want you to know that we do have 8 or 10 practitioners? 8 practitioners? I don't remember. We have 12 practitioners. In this group, we have 12 licensed practitioners. And those practitioners are here to hold consciousness. Hold consciousness for this community, hold consciousness for you, raise consciousness, to sit with you, to be with you, if you would like for them to hold something with you and for you that you might be working through in your own life. At the end of the service, you see there are 2 chairs back here. There will be a practitioner back here to sit with you, to be with you, to pray with you, to do spiritual mind treatment with you, and to join you in holding whatever it is that you are holding for yourself or for someone else. We also have a practitioner, Kenny, is back here today, and she's a practitioner holding space and blessing this gathering today as well. So just allow yourself to be present in that energy, the consciousness of that, the consciousness of love and unity, and coming together in that awareness of that divine life that is living itself in us, through us, as us at every moment, and reawakening ourselves to that. That's really why we come together, isn't it? So we can support each other in knowing. And that's what our practitioners are here to do and are trained to do with you and for you. So thank you, practitioners, for your commitment to this ministry. It's very important. Yay! I'd also like to let you know that we do have a newsletter that goes out every week. If you're not receiving that newsletter, I'm not sure exactly how you sign up for that, but maybe Jeanette knows.
Yeah, they could just see me.
Oh, Jeanette right here. Jeanette is, and the sign-up list in the back.
Right.
Okay, so if you're not receiving our newsletter and you'd like to keep up with what's going on here, please sign up to receive that, and you'll get that once a week, so you'll know what's happening, classes, workshops, who's going to be singing for us on Sundays. Also, if you like to have a name tag, also say Jeanette. Say Jeanette for everything. If you don't have a name tag and you'd like to receive a name tag. So I think that's all I have, but I'd like to ask Dr. Byrne to come up and talk about your class a little bit.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
We have an amazing new class starting toward the end of May.
May 24th.
What is it?
May 24th.
Thank you. May 24th, a Wednesday and a Thursday. And this is probably one of the most unusual classes we've ever offered. And what makes it so is we are going to take a very special journey. And I don't know how familiar you are with a concept called the bridal chamber. But the bridal chamber originated back in early Christianity, and it was a way that individuals had a chance to really get close to their Christ nature, to the divine nature of life. And so what happened was they went through all kinds of purification things and all that, and eventually they entered what was called a symbolic bridal chamber, where they actually ended up marrying their Christ nature. And it's a very sacred and holy event. And we're going to do that in 6 weeks, believe it or not. And I have no idea how we're going to do it yet, but I do know that we'll have divine guidance every step of the way. And we'll have a ceremony at the end, which will be a very special blessing ceremony for those who really choose to enter into the bridal chamber. let's see, what else do I want to say? The Wednesday class will be in person at my home, which is about 5 minutes from here. And I have a beautiful water feature in my backyard and a sun porch, so we're going to meet out there and just really have a divine time. And then the Thursday class, for those who cannot come in person, will be via Zoom. So all of this for just a mere $105 investment. And I promise you, those that are interested, what do you need to do to be qualified? Simply desire to have that, build an intense relationship with your own very source. So that's the journey. And thank you, Reverend David. That's it for me. We're going to bring up Ann Grove right now.
Thank you, Dr. Byrne. Today's reading comes from a book titled The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
Yay.
What it means to live spiritually is to not participate in struggle. Yay! It means that the events that happen in the moment belong to the moment. They don't belong to you. They have nothing to do with you. You must stop defining yourself in relationship to them and just let them come and go. Don't allow events to leave impressions inside of you. If you find yourself thinking about them later on, just let go. If an event happens that doesn't fit your conceptual model, and you see yourself struggling and rationalizing to make it fit, notice what you're doing. Any event in the universe that didn't match your model and is causing disturbance inside of you. If you simply notice this, you will find that it's actually breaking your model. You get to the point where you like this because you don't want to keep the old model. You get to the point where you like this, whoops, same reason, don't want to keep the old model. You define this as good because you're no longer willing to put any energy into building and solidifying your facade. Instead, you will actually permit the things that disturb your model to act as the dynamite to break it up and free you. This is what it means to live spiritually. You want your model to break, and you honor the experience when something happens that can cause disturbance within you. If anything can cause disturbance within you, it means it hit your model. It means it hit the false part of you that you built in order to control your own definition of reality.
So I invite you to settle in where you are. Feel your feet against the floor. Feel the energy of Mother Earth rising to meet you. Feel yourself grounded in this very moment. As you allow yourself to feel supported by the chair, breathe into this space and feel the energy of love surrounding you. Feel the energy of love radiating through you as we co-create this resonant field of divine love right here, right now, together. We allow that energy of love to wash over us. Wash through our minds, wash through our emotions, wash through our bodies, knowing that love is a divine energy, a powerful vibrational frequency that heals and harmonizes, a love that attracts to us exactly what is needed in every moment. Feeling safe in this now moment. Allowing everything to be just as it is, and knowing that it is all perfect. And feel that energy of love radiating through your heart space. And using that energy of like a blast of energy, allowing love to be that blast of energy, that dynamite blast that bursts forth from your heart into whatever identity, attachment, any idea of self that is limited, allowing the light of love to dissipate that limited energy, concept, idea, belief. Anything that would say, I am anything other than divine love in form. And in this moment, claim the truth. In this moment, I am love. I am light. I know my truth. I know who I am. I know what I am. And I choose in this moment to let that light shine through all of my life experience. And so in this moment, reclaim it. Allow yourself to feel that energy of love. You may see it as a color. You may hear it as a tone. You may feel it as a vibration. However it is that you perceive this frequency of love, allow it to fill your heart, fill your mind, fill your body, and know that you are a radiating center of this divine energy that we call love. And together, we radiate that energy out into the world. We are a beacon of divine love in the world. We breathe it back into the space, back into our hearts, breathing it all the way down through our bottom of our feet and grounding it right here, right now, in this very space, in this time, in this moment. And with the next breath, once again, feel your feet against the floor. Feel this chair supporting your body. Feel the energy of those seated around you. Feel your own energy, alive, awake, inspired, awakened to the truth. And as we breathe in once again, we bring our awareness back into the body, back into this time and space. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes as we come together with sound, as we sing together.
You can relax now. Come on and close your eyes. Breathe deeply now. I'm with you. You are the love of my life. You are my own creation. You are a child of God, and that
Robert. So can we really take that in? Can relax. Don't have to struggle. As the reading said, you can listen to that voice, that inner voice. It's always telling us the truth of who we are. You're a child of God. That's one way of knowing it. You're an individuated expression of the All, the One, power and presence. That's who we are. And that's really, in a nutshell, I guess, what our theme is for the year. Centers for Spiritual Living has a global theme for the year, and the theme is living out loud. Yay! Living out loud. Now, what does that really mean? I think it really means for us to truly listen, get in touch with, remember our truth, the light, the love that each one of us is, and live it out loud through our words, through our actions, through our thoughts. To live from that place of knowing who we are. Right? To let our light shine. The master teacher said, "You are the light of the world." Let your light shine so that everyone can see it. Everyone can feel it. Everyone can benefit from it. Let your light shine. And that's what it means to me to live out loud, live our truth out loud, to live from the heart. Brene Brown says it's living wholeheartedly. Living from our hearts, not from our heads. How many of us spend a lot of time living from our heads?
Sometimes.
Right? Can we take our opportunity to connect, live in that space of connection with the divine life that is present in everyone and everything? Now, our theme for the month of April, if you haven't already heard, is the power of vulnerability. Now, what does vulnerability really have to do with living out loud? I want to remind you of the reading I shared a couple of weeks ago from Brene Brown, who says vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. It is the source of hope, empathy, accountability, and authenticity. If we want greater clarity in our purpose or deeper and more meaningful spiritual lives, vulnerability is the path. Why do you think vulnerability is the path? Well, as I was meditating on that this week, what came to me was vulnerability is the path. Because vulnerability allows us to bring to the light that which we would allow to block or somehow prevent us from living fully. It brings to the light our, what we might call our ego-dominated mind, our self, Adyashanti, I told you once, calls it the psychological self, which I really like better than ego, because we need an ego. We need a healthy ego to say, this is who I am, this is why I'm here, this is me. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, called it the adverse ego, the ego that is attached to these ideas of self, the self that we have created, the things that we've taken on, the beliefs about ourselves, the limited beliefs about ourselves, that we often live from. So when we look at vulnerability as a spiritual practice, to reveal or to bring to light that aspect of how we're living from our heads, living from this idea of ourselves, rather than living from our hearts. And living from our hearts, as I talked about before, is I love this idea that, again, it's this energy when we open our hearts, when we open ourselves up, the energy flows freely. And we can connect with each other heart to heart. We can connect with all creation from our hearts. We can truly live wholeheartedly. And isn't that what we want? I mean, if we really connect with what we truly desire, just as Brene Brown said, everything that we really desire, love, belonging, creativity, joy, love, all of it can be experienced when we're vulnerable. Why aren't we vulnerable? If that's really what we want, why aren't we vulnerable? Because it's scary. We're afraid to be vulnerable, aren't we? We may have experienced things in our childhood or our adolescence or even our adulthood where we were vulnerable and we were hurt. We may have experienced trauma. We may experience some very deep pain when we were vulnerable. So we resist it. We don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to be laughed at. I don't want people to think I'm stupid or crazy. I don't want people to reject me. I don't want people to judge me. Do we? We don't want that. None of us wants that, right? Because it hurts. We're human. Dun, 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 dun. Dance break. So where was I? We don't want to be, we don't want to feel that pain. So what do we do instead? Well, you've heard the term calling out and calling up. We've all heard those terms, right? Calling out, calling up. Well, I'm not calling out anybody in particular. I'm not going to be naming any names, because if I did, I would be looking in the mirror, right? But when I say calling out, what I want to say is I want to bring to our awareness some of the things we might do, some of the things I've observed, not only in myself, but in others. And I'm going to make these are going to be general statements. And I'm going to say I've observed these. And you know I hang out a lot with people on the path, people on a conscious spiritual path. So I get to observe a lot of people on the conscious spiritual path, mostly in New Thought, Unity, Centers for Spiritual Living. So I've observed some behaviors that we might use to keep ourselves from being vulnerable. So again, I'm not calling anyone out, I'm just bringing it to our attention. So if it resonates with you, just think about it. Is it something I do to prevent myself from being vulnerable? The first thing I want to bring to our attention is this idea of toxic positivity. Anybody ever heard about toxic positivity? Now we know, we teach the law of mind. We know that what we put out, we get back. We teach the law of mind action, the law of cause and effect. We teach the law of attraction. We teach all of that. And so we know the importance of our energy, of our thinking, of our words, what we're putting out there. And how many of us have been taught in New Thought to always call it good? Always say it's good. Well, what I want to say about that is, in truth, in the absolute realm, it's all God. It's all good. But you and I don't always live in the absolute realm. We live in this human realm. It is all God, but it ain't always good. It doesn't feel good. So when we put on our rose-colored glasses, and we call it all good all the time, and we don't feel the feelings that are really behind what's going on, what happens? Michael Singer talks about it in that. We build up this energy. The fear and the anger and the worry and the doubt and all of the things that we might be feeling in our humanness. And it can become toxic. Because the other part of that teaching is that the universe does not just respond to what we say or what we want people to think we think. The universe responds to our deeper vibration. And if we're holding on to a lot of fear, if we're holding on to a lot of doubt, if we're not letting it move through us, guess what the universe is responding to? So if we really believe in the law of mind action, in the law of attraction, let's move through the stuff that might be causing us to become, our energy field to be toxic. The anger and the resentment and the things that we feel in our humanness. So, what do we do with that? We don't want to be spreading it all over the place, do we? No, we don't. We want to be able to feel it and to experience it and to let it move through us so that we don't become toxic. So call a friend. Reach out to a practitioner, a therapist, a minister. Or reach out to somebody you trust that can hear you, not shame you, but give you empathy and compassion. We're in this human experience together. Let's feel it. Let's be together in that. Let's not create this toxicity in our energy field, because that's what we're going to create. We sometimes talk about, well, I've been doing this, I've been in New Thought for all this time, and I've been practicing all these things, and my life just hasn't changed. If we understand that the universe, the law of mind, always works, what's it working on? What's it working on? Only you know that. I don't know that. I only know it for me. And sometimes I don't even know it for me. Unless I dig in there. So toxic positivity. Yes. Align your thinking, align your feeling, align your energy field with the divine. It's important to be grounded in that. But also it's important to have your human experience. We are spiritual beings, and we're having a human experience. The other thing that I sometimes notice is we practice this thing called non-attachment. It's a Buddhist teaching. Non-judgment, non-resistance, non-attachment. This is one of my favorites. I'll be honest with you, one of my favorites. Spiritual practice. Oh, we teach that being attached, or Buddhism teaches that attachment is the foundation for all suffering. So I'm going to practice non-attachment. I'm just going to be above it all. Right? I'm not going to get invested. I'm not going to be upset because I'm not invested. I'm not going to give my time and energy to something because I don't want to be attached to the outcome. And so we think of that, or I'll own that, I think of that, well, I'm just being spiritual. I'm just practicing. But the truth is, it's a way to not be vulnerable. It's a way to stay apart. If I am not invested in my friendship with Jeanette, then if we don't have a friendship, then who cares? If I'm not invested in the thriving of CSL Parker, and it doesn't thrive, then I'm not in any way affected by that. Do you see what I'm saying? You're getting what I'm saying, right? So what I invite us to do, it's not that you have to get invested in everything, but there's something that your heart calls you to. Something when you're living from your heart, when your soul is calling you to something, to get invested in it. I love the quote by Howard Thurman. He says, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go and do that. Because the world needs people who have come alive. So, yay, let's practice coming alive and giving ourselves to something. Whatever opens your heart. You've heard it say, whatever breaks your heart, whatever breaks your heart open. So it's not about not caring, or not investing, or not getting attached. The other thing that I see, and again, I'm not calling anyone out, because as I said, I'm looking in the mirror every time. I studied the work of Byron Katie, followed the work of Byron Katie for many years. I went to one of her 9-day retreats years ago, and loved it. And she has these, people, quote her Katieisms that she has. One of the things that has always stuck with me is she says, don't pretend yourself beyond your evolution. I don't know if you've ever done that. I know I have. Especially when I'm on the spiritual path and I'm looking at someone else, comparing myself to someone else and thinking, oh, that person is so enlightened, so awakened, so spiritually mature. I want to be like that, and so I'm going to pretend in some way that I am there, right? I'm already there. I don't have anything to learn. I don't have any growing to do because I've already arrived. I love it when Siri says, you have arrived. I think, Thank God, I have finally arrived. Right? So, like when you're in a class, and I've done this, and the teacher will say, well, do you know about so-and-so? And I'm too afraid to be vulnerable and say, no, I don't really know about that. Can you tell me more about that? Has anybody ever done that? Like, in a class where I'm supposed to know, I'm supposed to be more enlightened, more aware, so I don't ask the question. I don't want to be vulnerable enough for somebody in the class to think I'm stupid. So it's about not pretending, but being exactly where we are. Loving ourselves right where we are, wherever we are in our human journey, wherever we are on our spiritual journey, just being there and being honest and open and knowing. When you're in a group like this, I am sure it's a safe space. When you're in a class with Dr. Byrne, I'm sure it's a safe space to own right where you are, to ask the questions, to be present so that you can truly connect with something deeper. Don't pretend. And then lastly, one of my favorites, I guess they're all my favorites, really. I practice them all. Let's just slap some affirmations on it. Right? Let's just slap some affirmations on it, and maybe it'll go away. Anybody ever done that? Yeah, there's one of my favorite stories is about a priest, a rabbi, and a CSO minister who all found themselves woke up in hell one morning. And they were just befuddled. How did we end up here? And after a while, the priest said, well, I can admit, I'll be vulnerable. I will own that I lusted in my heart over one of the nuns in the convent. And I never confessed that. So I'm sure that's why I ended up in hell. And the rabbi said, okay, well, I'll be vulnerable too. I have to admit that I could not eat bacon. So I'm sure that's why I'm here. In the silence, there was silence. And they finally looked over at the CSO minister and said, well, what about you? And she said, this is not hell, and I am not here. This is not hell, and I am not here. This is not hell, and I am not here. So, if you've ever done that, in an effort not to own, this is where I am. You know, I'm not saying that when you're in this place of fear or pain or whatever we might call the consciousness of hell, and what we teach about hell, it's not a place, it's not somewhere you go when you die. You know, joke, that's a joke. It's a consciousness. It's consciousness of separation. Separation from our awareness of our true nature, of the God, the Christ, the truth that we are. That's what hell is. And we create it for ourselves. Right here. Just like we do heaven, we create it right here. So when we're in that place where, yes, I think we all experience that from time to time. Things will happen in our lives, and it's painful. We lose somebody we love. Whatever it is that happens in our lives, it hurts. And we may feel angry. I had lunch with a friend the other day, and she said, I'm embarrassed to even say this, but I'm angry at God. And I said, well, be angry at God. Be angry. Allow yourself to feel it. Don't stay stuck in it. Feel it, move through it. Like I don't remember where I heard it first, but when you find yourself walking through hell, keep on walking. Keep on walking. But don't just try to slap affirmations on it. We deny, and I guess somebody taught about this not too long ago, denial is not a river in Egypt, right? And denial is not about denying the reality. When we deny, we're denying the power, we're denying the truth of the reality, or the permanence of the reality. If I have a cold, I'm not saying I don't have a cold. I will acknowledge that my body has experienced something that we call a cold, but I'm also going to practice the affirmation that I am the very expression of health and wholeness and vitality in my very true nature. And until my mind, until my body, until every aspect of my being can come back into resonance with that, then I'll be dealing with whatever that is. But I keep allowing myself to deny the permanence of it, but I come back into the awareness of what is the truth and live from that place. So I just want to say that, again, I'm not calling us out, I'm just saying maybe these are some of the things you might have practiced. Maybe not. And I'm sure there are many others. To avoid our being vulnerable. But if we're avoiding being vulnerable, we know that we're also avoiding in some way living full out loud. Because as Brene Brown said, it is the birthplace, love, longing, creativity. Why is it the birthplace? Again, because it brings to light. It brings to light the things that we might allow to get in the way. And when we bring them to light, when we become aware of them, make them conscious, then we can work with them. Then we can move through them. Then we can be aware. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said, self-awareness is a prelude to Christ consciousness. So vulnerability helps us be self-aware. And bring that into awareness, bring it to the light. As long as we keep it hidden, it's going to be stuck in there. When we bring it to the light is the power that transmutes it, transforms it. So that's our opportunity as we consider being vulnerable. So I just invite you to practice that a little bit this week. Just notice, am I using my spiritual tools, my spiritual practices to avoid in some way? Or am I using them honestly to connect with the divine? To express that divine nature. Only you know. I don't. So practice some of that self-awareness this week and see what happens. And then maybe just a little bit of vulnerability, if you're willing. Again, somebody you trust. Somebody that has the capacity to hear you. Not shame you, to be with you, whatever it is that you're experiencing. All right, so let's stop, take a moment, take a breath. Once again, breathe into that place of knowing at the depth of your being, the light that you are, the love that you are, and your intention, your desire, the desire of your heart, the desire of your soul, to live out loud, to have its life, to have its fullest expression in this human life journey. Connect with that light. Feel that light. Allow it to reveal itself to you. You can ask it. You can entertain it. You can listen for what it is calling you forth to do, to be. Listen for that still, small voice in the silence of your own heart. So as we take just a moment, just a few moments in the silence, just be with that light, soul, spirit, listening deeply. And ask that part of you in the silence of your own heart, what can I do to be more vulnerable? What can I do today, tomorrow, this week? One action step that I can take to open myself up, to open my heart so that I can give you greater expression in my life. If it doesn't come immediately, continue to listen, ask, inquire throughout the week. And now we thank the Spirit, the soul, the heart for continuing to shine that light, continuing to inform us, inspire us in every moment, continuing to call us back into remembrance of itself. And we are so grateful. We are so blessed as we claim it. As we open to allow it to be, we know that it does become so. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Ourselves to allowing us to share that good through our financial contributions with this beautiful idea, divine idea that is Center for Spiritual Living, Parker. And so as you hold what you're going to share today, as we begin to pass our offering baskets around, hold it in your heart. Allow it to be an expression of your divine love. And we know that you express this in many ways, through your heart, through your giving of your time and your talent and your treasure. Many of you give online, and we appreciate that. So we thank you, we bless you, and allow this gift to be a blessing to the center and to all that we serve. And so it is.
So here's a beautiful song about absolutely the best destination I have ever visited. It's a very special place called Earth. Now, yesterday was Earth Day, but my heart was called to hoping that we can make every day Earth Day. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, a bright blessed day, and the dark say goodnight. And I think to myself, gosh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of people gone by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Thank you, Mother. Lovely. So let's all bless our offering first, and then we're grateful. Open up to the feeling of gratitude in your own heart. We feel the gratitude for the flow of divine abundance in us, through us, and as us. And we are so grateful for these gifts today, knowing that they come from the heart, knowing that they all are expressions of love, and know that they're here to serve love. We are grateful and thankful, and so it is. So before we close, let's take a moment in honor of Earth Day and hold our Mother Earth in our hearts. Just take a moment, breathe into your heart. You may even want to hold your hands out in front of your heart as if you're holding the earth, envisioning Mother Earth being held in your arms and your hands. And feel your hands radiating love, healing, wholeness, light. Blessing the Mother that sustains us, that nourishes us, provides us with this beautiful place in which to have this human experience. So we bless the land, we bless the waters, we bless all of the people and the animals, we bless the environment, we bless every aspect of this beautiful creation, feeling the love radiating up through the surface of the earth, touching all life. And we celebrate the energy that we are all made from and as. We are one with Mother Earth and with all life that she supports. And we are grateful. And so we release Mother Earth, knowing, claiming, the healing, claiming the love. We allow it to be as knowing that it is. And together we say, and so
it is.
Amen. Blessings as you go forth this week, this day. Thank you again for being here. I love your energy. I love your smiles. I love your laugh. And I love your warmth. So thank you for allowing me to be here as well. So have a beautiful week. Namaste.
So you know this song already, but it's just a little bit different words. I think we should stand up.